We're delighted to welcome Works Plus to Abbotsford House, the home of Sir Walter Scott. Works Plus is coming as part of our outdoor community engagement project, and we aim to learn together in practical and creative ways, learning about the man himself and his work in the wonderful natural environment which is Abbotsford. We began with a site visit, a chance to walk around the interior, look at all the fantastic collection that he built around himself, and have a talk about his books. Next, his wider creation, the garden and the wider estate. Here he has 3 walled gardens, including the vegetable display garden, kitchen garden, and extensive woodlands of 125 acres which reach down to the River Tweed. In our first session, we did some practical tasks including deadheading the roses, lifting radishes, and doing some sensory work in the herb garden. They made a journal. The journal they've made will be used to record their experiences throughout the sessions and will go forward as evidence for their John-Muir Trust Discovery Award. Okay, so we thought we'd stop here first because these are the original yew trees that Sir Walter Scott planted. Every bit of the yew tree is poisonous. It's one of the trees that you definitely do not want to forage, for instance. The Druids considered them sacred. A lot of the churches were built on the site of ancient yew groves. So sometimes yew trees are planted in cemeteries, but sometimes the cemeteries have actually grown up around the yew trees. The wood of the yew tree was used since prehistoric times. Particularly it was used during the medieval times for longbows. Have you heard of Robert the Bruce? He ordered yew bows for his archers for the Battle of Bannockburn for 1314. And they went into battle, and it was the superstition that surrounded the importance of yews because they are linked to immortality. And what is really special about this sort of tree is that it has a lot of growth at the bottom. As it grows, it's going to encroach on the path. So what we want to do is to cut off the stuff that's kind of going to overhang the path. So in order to do this, we open up our secateurs, and then when you know that there's something that's going to overhang the path, you run your hand down with your gloves on. Run your hand down until it meets a junction and snip it off. Throw it away off from the path. Like stone level and then... So we're going to do a little sound now. We're going to sit down for about 5 minutes and just listen to what's going on around us. When you hear something, may either do a little cartoon or a picture or something like that in your journal. Like a car going by over there, then you'd put your little image or your little word car over there, wherever it's coming from. It might also be the birds in the trees, it might be people walking by, it might be dogs barking, it might be motorbikes going along, it might be the wind in the trees. Whatever it is that we can hear, just like make a little map around you.
I can't draw, so I just wrote the words.
Oh, that's okay, that's okay.
Whatever I heard, I just wrote.
Tell us.
Cars going past, birds chirping, branches snapping. I don't know if it was a cockerel or a rooster that I heard.
Yeah, I thought it was a cockerel.
Someone shouting away across there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that as well.
Yeah.
Arthur.
They were quite loud.
And branches falling, and that was way across there.
Right. Oh, very
That was
good.
it.
Brilliant. That must have been nice lying down.
It was.
Yeah, very relaxing. Oh, Car going past, yeah. River flowing. And I heard somebody sniffing. Somebody was sniffing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What about you? That's lovely. That's really, really nice.
That's maybe a crow.
That's really nice.
A 5-minute drawing.
No, that's great. There's nothing like being outside and having a bit of paper. It can be the back of an envelope or anything, and a pencil, and just you can just. I mean, I certainly can just spend ages just doodling away, and it's just a lovely
I do it all the
thing
time
to
because
do.
I've got like big fields by my house.
Have you?
Behind and in front of my house. So I always go, whenever I feel like depressed or something, I always go up there and take paper with me and a pencil or some pens.
Okay, we'll
We're going to, in our smaller troops, which is not hard, we've sent a few of us, in our smaller teams we're going to find and choose one of these little pockets of logs, and we're going to have and spend 10 minutes or so having a really close look at one of those small habitats. So we're looking at a habitat which is created out of dead wood. They are a really rich habitat for some of the smallest creatures, smallest animals that live in this forest. Oh, look, what's that? What's that? What's that?
I think it's a centipede, is it?
Where's it gone? It was moving fast.
Is that a centipede?
Okay, I think it might well have been. Amazing, isn't it? No. But it does
There is
look
all the.
like the nearest leaf is definitely a hazel leaf. Definitely a hazel.
Because it.
Really beautiful illuminated manuscript. Okay, so the thing to know about these quill pens, you have to hold it really quite lightly and have quite a loose wrist with it. When you're picking up the ink, in a way you're using the tip of the quill to move a tiny ball of ink, push it across the page. So it's quite an elegant, gentle sort of action. Okay.
How's it feel, Kim?
Good.
Aye.
If you're hearing a lot of scratching, probably it's a little bit too hard.
Okay.
But each pen is different. So, you know, this is why I like to give somebody a big sheet of scribble paper first, so that you can get the hang of how your pen works and how to make the most out of it. So, do you know what any of these ones are? Well, you know at least very good, very good. You know
Green and brown.
Green and brown going quite well, yeah. One of them comes from a tree you were cutting back.
Ah, it was that big whopper. It was
Okay.
the lime thing.
Lime, that's right, absolutely right. And what do you think you did that you've not done before?
That pen thing.
And can you remember what it felt like using the quill pen?
So relaxing. It's actually better than the pens that you get nowadays.
Scott wrote all his books with a quill pen. The majority of the books in the library would have originally been written with a quill pen, and then they were translated into letterpress and printed. But what was the first bunch of trees we went to?
Yew tree.
The yew trees, that's right. And we talked quite a lot about the yew trees, didn't we?
Do you think you'd be able to recognise trees and plants now that you couldn't before?
Yeah.
What about yew tree?
Yew tree looks well creepy. Yeah, they're like the creepiest looking trees. We had to sit down for 5 minutes in silence and just listen to our surroundings. That was my favourite part about it. Because I wasn't feeling right that day, but it cleared my head, so I felt better after it.
Right, so what did you enjoy the most at Abbotsford?
It would have been the listening to the surroundings and drawing or writing what we were hearing.
Why did you enjoy that?
Because I enjoy drawing and it's something that's quite fun to do.
It all ties in beautifully with the John-Muir-Award.
Okay. So we collect the seed heads from the plants to conserve them, so that we've got them. So we've collected lots of violas in different coloured bags. We've labelled the bags so we know what colours they belong to. And
They're the yellow ones.
those are the yellow ones, that's right. Purpley pink ones. So we did that, and then what else did we do? Did we have to talk about some of the herbs?
There was rosemary,
Rosemary,
and coriander,
coriander,
and mustard.
mustard.
Works Plus would like to thank Abbotsford House, Mary and the team for all of their support for the young people on the recent project. The young people have grown in confidence, they've learnt new skills, they have all moved on to positive destinations, and we'd love to work with you again.
Okay, fantastic.
Well done. Yeah.
So, very good, very good.